Good evening, everybody. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, delegates, sisters and brothers. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak for giving an opportunity to participate in this conference and present my paper. Title of the paper is a study on knowledge, attitude, and practices on menstrual hygiene among adolescent girls in rural areas of Udupi district in Karnataka. According to the World Health Organization, adolescents are those between the ages of 10 and 19 years old. 1/5 of the world's population is comprised of adolescents, and in India, 20.9% of the total population is in this age group. This study embarked to investigate the knowledge, attitude, and practice on menstrual hygiene among adolescent girls. Methodology: in the rural areas where adolescent girls lived, a descriptive cross-sectional community-based survey was conducted. The study was included 100 adolescent girls who were chosen through a convenience sampling method. The major findings of our research are: our samples were aged between 12 and 17. Out of 100 samples, 37% of the samples were aged between 14 and 15. 25% were between 12 and 13, and 38% of the samples were aged between 16 and 17. 46% of the adolescent girls reached menarche between the ages of 16 and 17. Thus, it is recommended that girls below 16 and 17 should be made more knowledgeable of menstrual hygiene. With regard to the religion of respondents, 59% Hindus, 23% Christians, and 18% Muslims. The majority of the girls, say 85%, are born in nuclear families. Only 15% are from joint family. Majority of the girls from nuclear family are not familiar with menstruation and associated hygienic habits. Family income of the respondents is also playing major role. Majority of the girls in low socio-economic statuses. As a result, they require extra care and education to manage menstrual related anxiety and cleanliness. The health of the daughters is significantly influenced by the education of the mother. According to our findings, 35% of mothers educational adolescent girls had completed high school, including the 10th standard. Due to mothers' extremely low levels of education, there will be little knowledge about menstrual cycles and hygiene among mothers and daughters. Thus, it is recommended that girls from low socio-economic and educational background be made more aware of menstruation processes and hygiene. When a question of who provided the knowledge about menstruation to adolescent girls, 59% of respondents, they said mothers, and 29% they said teachers, and 32% they were guided by friends. Majority of the respondents have opined that they got training about menstrual management system through their mothers, because mother and daughters maintain a close relationship. Girls trust and believe their mothers and talk to them about critical topics such as menstruation. Type of sanitation facilities available in the house of the adolescent girls. Bathroom and toilet facilities are very important for the adolescent girls to maintain good menstrual hygiene. Our study shows that 86% of the respondents used general toilets. Only 14% of the girls used personal toilets. Here, majority of the respondents opined that personal toilets are more helpful to maintain good menstrual hygiene. What type of sanitary materials used by the adolescent girls during menstruation? For this question, only our respondents opined that only 5% used new cloth material. Majority of the girls, say 73% of our respondents used cloth materials that had previously been used or reusing cloth material. Only 22% chose to use pre-made sanitary pads. Many have opined that usage of pads need money and our parents are not in a position to provide because it is very expensive one. When a question of menstrual cycle pattern of the adolescent girls, with regard to this, 69% of the samples had regular menstrual cycle and 31% of them had experienced irregular cycle. Amount of knowledge and attitude on menstrual management. Regarding this, it is found that 64% had prior knowledge, 26% average knowledge on menstruation and hygiene, and 10% have good knowledge on menstrual hygiene. Attitude towards menstruation and menstrual hygiene, 59% had negative attitudes and 33% neutral attitudes and 8% had positive attitudes. This study led us to reach the conclusion that very few young girls between the ages of 15-17 did not receive any information prior to the start of their period. Those who received information, it was not sufficient enough, and young girls engaged in some unsanitary habits as a result of their lack of awareness, which led to poor menstrual hygiene. Young girls are also subjected to a great deal of pointless limitations and frequently complain about their health, which is either ignored or handled improperly. Proper information will enable them to follow safe and hygiene menstrual habits and escape ingrained prejudices. Some of the suggestions are: government can provide free and subsidized menstrual hygiene products to girls who cannot afford them. Invest in building water and sanitation facilities that are accessible to girls. Promote menstrual health education in schools and communities. Work to address cultural taboos and stigma around menstruation. Support research and innovation in menstrual hygiene. Thank you, one and all.